Okay. Roya Mattis, my friend, life coach, is here, and she has a brand new course that we're going to be talking about, which I'm fascinated to go deep in, which is
Mm.
about feminine and masculine energy and how it can impact everything in your life. So whether there's something missing in your life, so many women, Roya, that listen to this podcast are successful mothers and business women, but lots of times there's something missing for us. Either the relationship is off, or maybe the business is a little off, or the family relationships are off, or we're lacking in spirituality. And
Yeah.
that's where Roya comes in.
You nailed it. Why can't we have all the cylinders firing at the same time, right? But you
Yeah,
know what the
why?
real answer is, Sarah, and this is what I believe in my heart of hearts, that our real work is soul work, that whatever else is coming on our plate, it's just a part of either the distraction or the elevation. And so our work is to elevate our spirits. And we can only do that by contrast. So if we really look at this crap in our life and these, things that we feel like are obstacles that'll never go away or just continue to pop up, this is the tap on the shoulder that goes, hey, this is what your soul asked for. And if you don't lean in, it's going to go from a whisper to a tap to a boulder, and it's going to really wreck your life in a different way. Or you're going to be stuck and you're going to take your final breath. I mean, this sounds really morbid, but you'll take your final breath, never reaching that soul elevation. So even
Mm.
if you are listening to this show right now, it is a calling to you to listen to the things that are popping up in these various areas and answer the calling of your soul. Yeah.
Tell us what it means. And I want to know the specific name of your course because it's very fascinating. But tell us what it means, like, to have this balance of feminine energy within you and masculine.
Okay. So let me back up for a second. I'm an integrative intuitive coach. I integrate the mind, the body, and the soul. So the cognitive, the somatic, and the energetic. We even work with DNA passings if needed. And I have some intuitive spiritual gifts that get to become a part of that coaching session if needed. And so when I talk about masculine and feminine, this is because I went on a journey of my own discontent and realized that I massively participated in it. And in coaching women for 20 some years and reaching this, I didn't know that it was such an elite place. I found out recently that the position I got to as a leader of women in business was a 0.1% in the world level. And I was like, wow, I really did some beastly work. But I also didn't do it by myself. I did it because it was a collaboration. And as I looked at all of these women and myself, I realized that we did a lot in business. But so the course is also kind of a name of this. If you are a woman that knows that there is something that needs to be freer and softer and held sometimes, you're feminine in spaces, but you operate in masculine most of the time because of the fill in the blank, the demands, etc. Then this is built for you because this was me. And what ends up happening is we end up with this burnout, with adrenal fatigue, with more autoimmune diseases than ever before, with more cancers than we had. Women are dying more of heart attacks. Why? Because energy is neither created nor destroyed. So these emotions have to be deposited somewhere. And if we don't know how to excrete them out properly, then they go into the body. And this is where I begin to specialize. So the masculine, we're taught a lot about how to exit masculine emotion. This is why men are able to release faster than women. We're not taught how to do it for the feminine. So I'll describe, you asked me what masculine feminine energy is,
Yeah.
right? That was the base question. I'm going to describe it like a river. Okay. So if you could get a river in your mind and imagine a bank around this river, and I want you to imagine this river with winding spaces and with more depth and more shallow places in the river. Okay. So the masculine is the bank of the river. It's the edges. It gives the river the direction that it goes and the depth in which the water flows. Okay.
Got it.
In life, that masculine is your planning, your visions, the direction you want to take your life. It is the execution, it's the action, it's the point A to point B. How am I going to get there? Whether you are running a household, you got to get your kids to every camp on time in 5 different directions, or you're running a huge corporation and you've got to get all the teams on board and the mission and the vision of the company executed. And of course, maybe make stockholders happy. This is the direction. This is the bank. Okay. Then we have the water within the river. The water is the feminine energy. The water flows. The water has excitement. The water has speed, and the water has calm. If you imagine water as almost, sometimes it can sink into the earth where you can almost not even know it's there, but it's feeding plants and the earth, right? But feminine can sometimes get so small and muted it disappears, and then it can be so outrageous and raging. It's like a typhoon that freaking bowls people and things over. Think of a woman on like a menstrual, PMSing or whatever. We're like,
Yeah.
"Ah," right?
Yeah.
So it can be that wild. What most of us do, what most of you guys are doing, the women that I'm talking to, they're running their masculine. Men have feminine and masculine too. We both have both energies, by the way. So the men that are listening, it's you as well. However, you need that feminine and you can discard it. You need less of the feminine than a feminine body does.
Got it.
We both need more. So what ends up happening is we operate in this masculine only, and we have a dry river. And so why is that important to understand? When you have a dry river, you're going to have to trudge harder. You're going to have to work more in exhaustion to get from point A to point B. Because can you imagine just laying on your back in the water and floating in the direction that you gave? So when you master creating the masculine direction and adding the flow of the feminine freedom, you get to flow down the river of your dreams rather than muscle it.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect analogy. I gotcha. We're going for that flow.
Uh-huh.
Well, one thing too, I think it's important. I want to tell our audience, you've been on my show before and you have expertise in many different ways, but one, you talked to 3 women that were very high achieving DC women who were single and looking to attract the person of their dreams.
So fun.
All 3 women loved you. You were on here prior. You and I had worked together and done some amazing work because when you talk about how successful you were and still are in business, it was with Mary Kay Cosmetics, right? You became one of their top sellers, like in the country or probably in the world, right?
I was number 1 for personal sharing. So recruiting, a couple of times I was crown queen. I was in the top 3 each time I did that category. And then I went on and I was called their top trip level. So as a sales director, yes, I was in the top to earn the free vacations and so forth. And then I went on to become a national sales director. National sales director is considered a daughter of Mary Kay. We're in the museum. We have the great honor of driving a free car that we don't have to earn anymore. It's just we've already pre-earned it, so to speak. So you get a new one every 3 years, and then you have an automatic free vacation for you and somebody else. So anyway, it's been a beautiful thing. And I am still a national sales director. I'm so grateful for the foundation. Honestly, at first, the foundation that it gave to me as a business person.
Sure.
At first, when I was introduced to her, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? You're schlepping lipstick. I cannot even talk to you. I was a girl that literally washed my face with Noxzema or Clearasil, depending on what my skin looked like. I mean, I grew up with 3 brothers. My mom had 5 brothers. That was not our, but when I realized that I could help a woman with a dream, that's when I started to work that business. And so it's not the connection of the cosmetics I have. They have an incredible program. They do have an incredible community, and they have this great foundation of faith, family, and career. And it gave me so many skills and confidence that I would never have had as I go into more of this of helping people deeply. Because as I was working with the women and they're trying to implement the structure that we're giving and the perfect routine that gets you to the top, and they're blocked. So if you are doing something and you're like, I keep hitting a money wall. I keep hitting a promotion wall. I keep hitting a wall in my body. Like I keep going back to that freaking size, or I keep going back to that same kind of relationship and those same arguments. It's because when I realized it's because of your subconscious patterns. It's these patterns that no longer serve you. And so I've become an expert in pattern breaking. And that's really what I do now more than anything else, is I break patterns with people
Oh my God.
so that it doesn't block them anymore. Yeah.
Isn't that like, and we all have them, right? I mean, have you ever met a person who doesn't have patterns?
No. And some patterns are freaking phenomenal for you. You want to grab the ones that work and discard the ones that are holding you back. Yeah.
Like which ones are the
Brazilianaire doesn't have some good pattern.
Okay, so which are the ones that you want to gravitate to in your life? The ones that feel good, the ones that are working, right?
I mean, your system will know it. Like I really like the way my body is right now. I really like the way my energy is right now. I really love these relationships I have in my life, all of them, including my intimate, passionate one. I really love the amount of money that I make. I can't imagine having any more. It's the way I love it to be. Whatever is in that love spot, awesome. There's always twangs within it. There's microisms, right? Like maybe you love being a parent, but you hate that reaction you give it within yourself. You feel it when you say blah 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 to your child, and you're like, God dang it, I did it again. That's a pattern. That's a pattern.
In all your years of working with women, like, is it one of those things? How do people wake up to their patterns? Is it like life really hits them? Do some people like know right away they have a bad pattern and contact you? Like, I'm sure you probably see people at various degrees of it, correct?
Yeah, that's a great question. It, when it becomes something that you can no longer live with, when the pain becomes bad enough, you raise your hands, is really a lot of what it is. However, there are also seeker personalities, and the seekers are always seeking to be the next better version of themselves, and they don't have to feel the pain as deeply. These seekers are looking to go, okay, I've hit this spot. Now what's next within me that I'm ready to address? And they're always leveling up. And so I want to call you to be a seeker, because that allows your life to flow more than be in chaos. That allows you to experience the elevation of your life consistently instead of sporadically.